Before we begin our discussion on the topic reconciliation of profits, there are some instructions to students and learners. Use headphone while listening to this lecture to have a clear and undisturbed listening. Please keep a notebook or paper and pen and a calculator to solve the problems alongside the process of viewing this video and also to note certain points. Students are advised to solve different problems from reference or textbooks on this subject based on this learning process because only practice can make you perfect with the concept. In case of any queries, students can contact on WhatsApp mobile number given in this video. Let's try to understand the objectives of this discussion. It is to understand why reconciliation of profits under cost and financial accounts is important. 2. What are the reasons for difference in profits? 3. What is the method adopted to reconcile the profits? 4. To equip students with the skill to be able to prepare the reconciliation statement. Now let's look into the need for reconciliation of profits. Reconciliation is normally a step taken to reconcile two differing things. It may be difference in balance of the bank accounts as per books and passbook, or it may be the reconciliation of balance in the debtors and creditors account with the debtors and creditors book balances respectively. Here we are trying to understand or learn the reconciliation of profits shown as per financial account books and cost account books. In those concerns where there are no separate cost and financial accounts, the problem of reconciliation does not arise. But where cost and financial accounts are maintained independent of each other, it becomes essential that accounts are reconciled. Though both the accounts are prepared with the same basic transactions, but the figure of profit disclosed by the former may not agree with the profits shown by the latter. Thus, reconciliation becomes necessary due to the following reasons. 1. To find out the reasons for the difference in profit or loss in cost and financial accounts and to ensure better coordination and cooperation among departments. 2. To ensure the mathematical accuracy and reliability of cost accounts in order to have cost ascertainment, cost control, and to have a check on the financial accounts. 3. To contribute to the standardization of policies regarding stock valuation, depreciation, and overheads. Lastly, to place management in better position to acquaint itself with the reasons for the variation in profits for effective internal control. Let's now look into the reasons for disagreement in profits. Now, the disagreement between the costing and financial profit is caused by the following reasons. Let's look into the first one. Now, items shown only in financial accounts. Now, there are a number of items, that is generally the expenses and provisions, which are included only in financial accounts and are not recorded in the cost accounts as they are not cost items, and thus this reduces the profit as per financial accounts, bringing in a difference. The items may be classified as below. First, purely financial charges like loss on sale of fixed assets, loss on sale of investments, discount on issue of debentures, interest on bank loan, mortgages, etc., penalties and levies, and many more. 2. Appropriation of profits like transfer to reserves, provision for depreciation, bad debts, etc. capital expenditure written off like preliminary expenses, goodwill. And third, purely financial incomes like rent, interest, dividend, brokerage, discount, and commission received. The second reason for disagreement in profits is the items that are only shown in cost accounts. There are a number of items, that is expenses, which are included only in cost accounts and are not recorded in the financial accounts. And thus, this reduces the profit as per cost accounts, bringing in a difference. Third, over and under absorption of overheads based on estimates. Fourth, different basis for stock valuation, like when the raw material stock is either valued under LIFO or PIFO method, valuation of work in progress, valuation of finished goods. The next is different methods of charging depreciation. Straight line method, diminishing balance method may be adopted in financial accounts, whereas cost accounts may consider methods like machine hour rate or production unit method, etc. Lastly, it may be because of the abnormal gain and losses that are accounted in either of the accounts, which may lead to disagreement. Let's now look into the methods of reconciliation of profits. The first method is the preparation of reconciliation statement, and the second is preparation of memorandum reconciliation account. Now let's look into the first method, that is reconciliation statement method. When reconciliation is attempted by preparing a reconciliation statement, profit shown by one set of accounts is taken as base profit, and items of differences are either added to it or deducted from it to arrive at the figure of profit shown by the other set of accounts. The second method is the memorandum reconciliation account, where this account is a memorandum account only and does not form part of the double entry system. When reconciliation is done by memorandum account, profit taken as base profit is shown as opening balance of this account. All items required to be deducted are debited to this account, and all items required to be added are credited to the account. The balancing figure is the amount of profit shown by the other set of account. Let's now have a look at the procedure for a reconciliation of profits. Step 1. We have to ascertain the various reasons of disagreement between the profits disclosed by two set of books of accounts. Step 2. We have to choose the base profit to begin with the statement over here. Now in this particular case, if profits as per cost account is taken as the base, then the following items would be added to this particular profit to reconcile it with the financial account profit. So the first one will be items of income included in financial accounts and not in cost accounts. The second expenditure or the expense that would be added is items of expenditure included in cost accounts but not in financial accounts. Similarly, the third one, amounts by which items of expenditure have been shown in excess in cost accounts as compared to the corresponding entries in financial accounts. Fourth, amounts by which items of income have been shown in excess in financial accounts as compared to the corresponding entries in cost accounts. Fifth, over absorption of overheads in cost accounts. The amount by which closing stock of inventory is undervalued in cost accounts. The amount by which the opening stock of inventory is overvalued in cost accounts. Now, the items that are to be deducted from the cost account profits are to be taken into consideration. Now, these items are items of income included in cost accounts but not in financial accounts. 2. Items of expenditure included in financial accounts but not in cost accounts. 3. Amounts by which items of income have been shown in excess in cost accounts over the corresponding entries in financial accounts. Fourth, amounts by which items of expenditure have been shown in excess in financial accounts over corresponding entries in cost accounts. Fifth, under absorption of overheads in cost accounts. Sixth, the amount by which closing stock of inventory is overvalued in cost accounts. Seventh, the amount by which the opening stock of inventory is undervalued in cost accounts. Now, once these items are added and deducted, the third step comes up over here. That is, after making all the above additions and deductions, the resulting figure will be profit as per financial accounts over here. Now, the student should note one thing, that if profit as per financial account is taken as the base, then the items added in the above problem or the above situation shall be deducted, and the items to be deducted shall be added. That is, the procedure will be reversed. Now, to understand the procedure of reconciliation of profits more precisely and clearly, let's take up some illustrations. So let's go through an illustration 1 over here. A company maintained separate cost and financial accounts, and the costing profit for 2017 differed to that revealed in financial account, which was shown as rupees 50,000. The following information is available to us. Opening stock of raw materials as per cost accounts was 5,000 and as per financial accounts 5,500. Closing stock of raw materials, cost accounts 4,000, financial accounts 5,300 respectively. Opening stock of finished goods, cost accounts 12,000 and financial accounts 15,000. Closing stock of finished goods, cost accounts 14,000 and financial accounts 16,000. Dividends of rupees 1,000 were received by the company. A machine with net book value of rupees 10,000 was sold during the year for rupees 8,000. The company charged 10% interest on its opening capital employed rupees 80,000 to its process costs. You are required to determine the profit figure which was shown in cost accounts. Now, this is a problem wherein the different valuation of stocks, both with regard to raw materials and finished goods, are given. Some purely financial items of expenditure are given. And at the same time, we have been given with the other transactions that have taken place, which have been recorded or which must have found a place only in one books of account. Therefore, we have been asked to determine the profit figure which was shown in the cost accounts. After we have analyzed the transactions or the information given in the problem, generally the first question that comes to the mind is, how do I know what is to be added and what is to be deducted in the statement? Now that's why we find that every student who begins with the reconciliation of profits will have this question in his mind. How do we analyze that whether an item is to be added or deducted? Let me give you a small technique of working note to analyze as to what item is to be added or deducted. Suppose you begin with the profit as per financial accounts, then you would end with the profit as per cost accounts, and it may be vice versa also. Now, In this case, if you are beginning with the financial accounts and you would end up with the cost accounts, then if a transaction or an item leads to increase in the profit of financial accounts and decrease in the profit of cost accounts, then put a plus sign in financial accounts column and a minus sign in cost accounts column. Then to make this plus, that is more profit, as less, we should deduct the amount of the transaction. Now this can be put up in a working note, as I said, with the following columns. As we are beginning with the financial accounts profit, so the first column will be financial accounts, and as we are ending with the cost account profit, so the second column will be cost accounts, and the third column will be the effect that we have to give, that is whether to add or deduct in the statement. Now suppose if we are starting with cost account profit and ending with financial account profit, then the first column will be cost accounts column, second column would be financial accounts, and the third would be the effect. Now here in this case, we are beginning with financial account profit, therefore the first column will be financial accounts and the second column would be cost account. Now for the above situation, when we put up these signs over here, it appears like this. So the plus sign in the financial accounts column, the minus sign in the cost accounts column. So to make this more profit less, we have to deduct the amount from the financial account profit. Similarly, if a transaction or an item leads to decrease in the profit of financial accounts and increase in the profit of cost accounts, then put a minus sign in financial accounts column and a plus sign in cost accounts column. Then to make this less profit more, we should add the amount of the transaction. So we put up the signs like this: minus in the financial accounts column and plus in the cost accounts column. So the effect that we have to give in the statement is add the amount to the financial account profit. So thus this will help us to analyze how the amounts either have to be added or deducted from the respective amounts. Let's now prepare a statement showing calculation of profit as per cost accounts for illustration 1. Let's rule out the statement with the particulars column and an amount column and also an inner amount column for the respective amounts of the add and less columns. Now we begin with profit as per financial accounts as stated in this problem, that is 50,000 rupees. Now we can split this particular statement into two parts, that is the first part as the add items column or the add items section and the second part as the less items section. Let's analyze the effect of the transaction which leads to disagreement in profits. Let's take the first transaction. The opening stock of raw material as per cost accounts rupees 5,000 and financial accounts rupees 5,500. This leads to less profit as per financial accounts and more as per cost accounts by rupees 500. Therefore, this amount should be added to financial account profit as overvaluation of opening stock of raw materials in financial accounts 500 rupees shown in the inner column. Let's go to the second transaction. The closing stock of raw materials as per cost accounts is rupees 4,000 and financial accounts rupees 5,300. This leads to more profit as per financial accounts because closing stock is a credit item in the profit and loss account which increases the profit, and the profit is less as per cost account by rupees 1,300. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from financial account profit and should be shown as overvaluation of closing stock of raw materials in financial accounts, that is 1,300 rupees in the inner column. The third transaction is about the opening stock of finished goods as per cost accounts rupees 12,000 and financial accounts rupees 15,000. This valuation leads to less profit as per financial account and more profit as per cost accounts by rupees 3,000. Thereby, this should be added to financial account profit and should be shown as overvaluation of opening stock of finished goods in financial accounts 3000 rupees in the inner column. The fourth one is about closing stock of finished goods as per cost accounts, that is rupees 14,000, and financial accounts rupees 16,000. This valuation leads to more profit as per financial accounts and less as per cost accounts by rupees 2,000. Therefore, this amount should be deducted from financial account profit, and it should be shown as overvaluation of closing stock of finished goods in financial accounts in the inner column rupees 2,000. The company has received dividends of rupees 1,000, which is purely a financial transaction. This leads to more profit as per financial accounts and less as per cost accounts. Therefore, this amount should be deducted from financial account and shown as dividend received by the company in the inner column 1,000 rupees. There is a loss on sale of machine by rupees 2,000 because machine costing rupees 10,000 has been sold for rupees 8,000. This leads to less profit as per financial account and more as per cost account. Therefore, it should be added to financial account profit and shown as loss on sale of machinery 2,000 in the inner column. Now, interest on capital, which works out to rupees 8,000, is charged to process cost. Therefore, this leads to more profit as per financial account and less as per cost account. Thus, this amount should be deducted from financial account profit and should be shown in the statement under the less column, that is interest on capital employed, in the inner column 8,000 rupees. Now, once we are done with all the transactions over here, we have to total up the add column, that is 5,500 in this case, put up the same in the outer column as 5,500 and arrive at a total of 55,500. Now from this, the total deductible amounts should be ascertained, that is 12,300, and the same is put up in the outer column, and the difference that we arrive at, that is 43,200, is the profit as per cost accounts. Now this illustration helps us as to how the analysis of the transaction is made and the add and less columns are ascertained and the statement is prepared to reconcile the profits. Let's look into another illustration to practice the reconciliation of profits. The profit disclosed by cost accounts of Expert Engineering Limited was rupees 1 lakh for the year ending 31st of March 2019. A scrutiny of cost and financial account reveals the following. Income tax provided in financial accounts rupees 30,000. Share transfer fees credited in financial accounts rupees 2,000. Company's provision for doubtful debts rupees 10,000. Overhead as per cost accounts 17,000. Overheads as per financial accounts rupees 14,000. Directors' fees shown in financial accounts 4,000. Depreciation charged only in financial accounts rupees 3,500. Value of closing stock in financial accounts 10,375. Interest on investment not included in cost accounts rupees 2,000. Value of closing stock in cost accounts 9,375 rupees. Goodwill written off in financial accounts rupees 4,500. Stores adjustment credited in financial accounts rupees 500. Prepare reconciliation statement to show the profit as per financial accounts. Let's prepare a statement showing calculation of profit as per financial account for illustration 2. Now in this illustration, Expert Engineering Limited has a profit of rupees 1 lakh as per cost accounts for the year ending 31st of March 2019. There are reasons for disagreement of profit as per financial accounts. So we begin the statement with the profit as per cost accounts as the base. So let's rule out the statement with the particulars column and the amount column and an inner amount column. So we begin with profit as per cost accounts, rupees 1 lakh. Let's reconcile the profits to show the profit as per financial accounts by analyzing the different transactions that have been given, which are reasons for disagreement. Let's take the first one. Income tax provided in financial accounts was rupees 30,000. This transaction leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount of tax should be deducted from the cost account profits. So it is shown under the less items, that is income tax provided in financial accounts in the inner column, rupees 30,000. The next transaction is share transfer fee credited in financial accounts, rupees 2,000. This credit leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, it should be added to the cost account profit. So it's shown under the add items, that is share transfer fee credited in financial accounts in the inner column, rupees 2,000. The third transaction is about company's provision for doubtful debts, rupees 10,000. This provision leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Thus, this amount should be deducted from the cost account profit as company's provision for doubtful debts in the inner column, rupees 10,000. Overheads as per cost accounts, rupees 17,000 and financial account, rupees 14,000. Now, because of this transaction, the profit as per cost accounts will be less and more as per financial account. Therefore, the difference amount of rupees 2,000 should be added to cost account profit and shown as overheads over recovered in cost accounts, rupees 3,000. The next transaction is directors' fees shown in financial accounts, rupees 4,000. This transaction leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from cost account profits, shown as directors' fees shown in financial accounts in the inner column, rupees 4,000. The next transaction is depreciation charged only in financial accounts, rupees 3,500. This provision leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts because provision is made only in financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from cost account profit and shown as depreciation shown in financial accounts only under the less items, that is 3,500 in the inner column. Now here the valuation of closing stock as per financial account is 10,375 and as per cost accounts it is 9,375. This difference in valuation leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts by rupees 1,000. Therefore, the amount of rupees 1,000 should be added to cost account profit and shown as overvaluation of closing stock in financial accounts, rupees 1,000. The next transaction is interest on investment not included in cost accounts, that is rupees 2,000. This leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added to cost account profit and shown as interest on investment not included in cost accounts in the inner column, 2,000 rupees. The next transaction is goodwill written off in financial accounts, that is 4,500. This write-off leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial account. Therefore, it should be deducted from the cost account profits and shown as goodwill written off in financial account under the less items in the inner column, 4,500 rupees. The last transaction is about the store's adjustment credited in financial accounts, rupees 500. This leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial account. Thus, it should be added to cost account profit, shown as store's adjustment credited in financial accounts in the inner column, rupees 500. We total up the add column that is 8,500. Show it in the outer column 8,500 and the total profit is 1,08,500. From this amount, the total of the less items, that is 52,000, shown in the outer column is deducted and the balance that we arrive at is 56,500, which is profit as per cost account. So this is how the add and less amounts are treated based on the effect that it has on the profits, and we arrive at the profit as per cost accounts. Let's look at another illustration where the profit as per both the books are given to us. Let's look into the illustration number 3. From the following figures, prepare a reconciliation statement. Net loss as per cost accounts 20,000. Net profit as per financial accounts 30,000. Works overhead under recovered in cost accounts 6,000. Office overhead over recovered in cost accounts 12,000. Depreciation charged in financial accounts 20,000. Depreciation charged in cost accounts 28,000. Interest received on securities 50,000. Obsolescence loss charged in financial accounts 10,000. Income tax provided 20,000. Bank interest credited 20,000. Stores adjustment credited in financial accounts 4,000. Value of opening stock in cost accounts 1,04,000. Value of opening stock in financial accounts 1,08,000. Value of closing stock in cost accounts 1 lakh. Value of closing stock in financial accounts 94,000. Interest charged in cost accounts only 12,000. Preliminary expenses written off 2,000. Provision for doubtful debts 8,000. Now in this problem, we have net loss as per cost accounts and net profit as per financial accounts. Now students can take up any of these figures as the base for starting the statement over here. They can begin with net loss as per cost accounts, or they can begin with net profit as per financial accounts. Either figures you take up, you should end up with the profit or loss of the other books of accounts. Let's prepare a reconciliation statement. This is an illustration where profit as per financial account and loss as per cost accounts are given. The reasons for difference are also stated. Let's analyze these reasons to reconcile the profits. In this case, we can begin with either the profit figure or the loss figure. Let's begin with the loss as per cost accounts for a change and arrive at profit as per financial accounts. The loss figure should be shown as minus figure, and analysis of effect of transactions should be considered similar to the way we consider in case of a profit figure. So let's rule out the statement showing calculation of profit as per financial accounts with a particulars column, an amount column, and also an inner amount column. So we begin with loss as per cost accounts, which is shown as minus 20,000. Now let's take up the first transaction. Works overhead under recovered in cost accounts rupees 6,000. Due to this, the profit as per cost accounts will be more, and as per the financial accounts it will be less by rupees 6,000. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from the cost account profits. So it is shown under the less items, that is works overhead under recovered in cost accounts, in the inner column 6,000 rupees. Let's take up the second transaction. Office overhead over recovered in cost accounts, that is rupees 12,000. Due to this, the profit as per cost accounts will be less, and as per financial accounts more by rupees 12,000. Therefore, the amount should be added to cost account profit. So it will be shown under the heading add items as office overhead over recovered in cost accounts, in the inner column 12,000 rupees. The next transaction is depreciation charged in financial accounts rupees 20,000 and in cost accounts rupees 28,000. This difference in depreciation charged leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the difference of rupees 8,000 should be added to cost account profit. So it should be shown as depreciation overcharged in cost accounts under the add items in the inner column 8,000 rupees. The next transaction is about interest received on securities, that is 50,000. This is a purely financial item and it leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added to cost account profit, which will be shown as interest received on securities credited in financial accounts in the inner column 50,000 rupees. The next transaction is obsolescence loss charged in financial accounts rupees 10,000. This transaction leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, it should be deducted from cost account profits and shown as obsolescence loss charged in financial account. Now, this loss is loss arising due to outdatedness of certain assets. The next transaction is income tax provided rupees 20,000. This is also purely a financial item, therefore it leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from cost account profits and shown in the less items, that is income tax provided in financial accounts rupees 20,000. Let's go to the next transaction, that is bank interest credited rupees 20,000. This transaction leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added to cost account profit as bank interest credited in financial accounts in the inner column 20,000 rupees. The next transaction is about stores adjustment credited in financial accounts, that is rupees 4,000. This leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added to cost account profits as stores adjustment credited in financial accounts, that is 4,000 in the inner column. Now, as far as the valuation of opening stock is concerned, the value of opening stock as per cost accounts is 1,04,000 and financial accounts is 1,08,000. Now, the difference in valuation by rupees 4,000 leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the difference amount should be deducted from cost account profits and shown as overvaluation of opening stock in financial accounts 4,000 rupees. Similarly, the next transaction is about valuation of closing stock. In cost accounts, it's valued at 1 lakh and in financial accounts, it's valued at 94,000. The difference in valuation by rupees 6,000 leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the difference should be deducted from cost account profits and shown as overvaluation of closing stock in cost accounts by 6,000 rupees, shown in the inner column. The next transaction is about interest charged in cost accounts only, rupees 12,000. This leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added to cost account profits and shown as interest charged in cost accounts only, 12,000 rupees. The next is preliminary expenses written off, rupees 2,000. This write-off being done in financial accounts leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from cost account profit and it should be shown under the less items as preliminary expenses written off in financial accounts 2,000 rupees. And the last transaction is about provision for doubtful debts, rupees 8,000. This provision done in financial accounts leads to more profit as per cost accounts and less profit as per financial accounts. Thus, the amount should be deducted from cost account profits and it should be shown under the less items, that is provision for doubtful debts, 8,000 rupees. So we total up the add column items, which works out to 1,06,000 shown in the outer column, and the balance when the loss is deducted comes down to 86,000. From this, The less items are deducted 56,000. So the net effect is 30,000 rupees, which is profit as per financial accounts. Here, students should note that when both profits as per cost and financial accounts are given, you may begin the reconciliation statement with any profit or loss figure, but you should arrive at the profit or loss figure of the other books of account. In this problem, we confirm the reconciliation because both figures are. Let's take up an illustration where reconciliation is between loss shown by both set of books of accounts. From the following information, prepare a reconciliation statement. Net loss as per cost accounts 86,200 rupees. Net loss as per financial accounts 1,08,023 rupees. Works overhead undercharged in cost accounts 1,560. Administrative overhead over recovered in cost accounts 850. Depreciation charged in financial accounts 5,600. Depreciation charged in cost accounts 6,250. Miscellaneous loss charged in financial accounts 2,850. Income tax provided in financial accounts 20,150. Bank interest credited in financial accounts 375. Stores adjustment credited in financial accounts 237. Value of opening stock in cost accounts 26,300. Value of opening stock in financial accounts 27,000 rupees. Value of closing stock in cost accounts 26,000 rupees. Value of closing stock in financial accounts 24,800 rupees. Interest charged in cost accounts only 3,000. Preliminary expenses written off 400 and provision for doubtful debts rupees 75. Now this is a problem where net loss as per cost accounts and net loss as per financial accounts both are given to us. It's a reconciliation of loss and not profit in this particular problem, whereby we can begin with net loss as per cost accounts and end up with net loss as per financial accounts, or vice versa. Let's prepare a statement of reconciliation now. Now this problem involves reconciliation of loss shown by both books. Let's begin this reconciliation with loss as per financial accounts. Students should note that the loss figure or the amount should be shown as minus, and the transaction effect should be analyzed as done in case of profit situation only. So let's rule out a statement showing calculation of loss as per cost accounts. So let's rule out the statement with a particulars column and an amount column and an inner amount column. And let's take the base as loss as per financial accounts, that is 1,08,023 rupees, and we put a minus sign to indicate that this is a loss figure. Now let's analyze the first transaction. The works overhead undercharged in cost accounts is rupees 1,560. This transaction leads to less profit in financial accounts and more profit in cost accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added to financial account profit. So it is shown as works overhead undercharged in cost accounts 1,560 in the inner column under the add items. So yeah. The next transaction is administration overhead over recovered in cost accounts rupees 850. This leads to more profit in financial accounts and less profit in cost accounts. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from financial account profit. So, it is shown under the less items as administration overhead over recovered in cost accounts 850 rupees in the inner column. The third is the depreciation charged in financial accounts 5,600 and in cost accounts rupees 6,250. This leads to more profit in financial accounts and less profit in cost accounts. Therefore, the difference amount of rupees 650 should be deducted from financial account profit, and it's shown as depreciation overcharged in cost accounts rupees 650. The next is miscellaneous loss charged in financial accounts, that is rupees 2,850 rupees. This transaction leads to less profit in financial accounts and more profit in cost accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added to financial account profit and shown as Miscellaneous loss charged in financial accounts 2,850 rupees in the inner column. Income tax was provided in financial accounts only to the extent of 20,150. This transaction also leads to less profit in financial accounts and more profit in cost accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added and shown as income tax provided in financial accounts, that is 20,150 rupees. Bank interest was credited in financial accounts to the extent of 375. This leads to more profit in financial accounts and less in cost accounts. Therefore, it should be deducted from financial account profit and shown under the less items as bank interest credited in financial accounts 375 rupees. The next is the stores adjustment credited in financial accounts 237 rupees. This transaction leads to more profit in financial accounts and less in cost accounts. Therefore, it should be deducted from financial account profit and shown as stores adjustment credited in financial accounts 237 rupees in the inner column. Now the valuation of opening stock in cost accounts is 26,300 and in financial accounts it is 27,000. Therefore, profit as per financial account would be less and as per cost accounts would be more by rupees 700. Therefore, the amount should be added to financial account profit as overvaluation of opening stock in financial accounts rupees 700 in the inner column under the add items. The next is the valuation of closing stock in cost accounts, that is 26,000, and financial accounts 24,800, whereby profit as per financial account would be less and as per cost accounts would be more by rupees 1,200. Therefore, the amount should be added to financial account profit and shown as overvaluation of closing stock in cost accounts 1,200. The next is interest charged in cost accounts only amounting to rupees 3,000. This transaction leads to more profit as per financial accounts and less profit as per cost accounts. Therefore, the amount should be deducted from financial account profits and shown as interest charged in cost accounts only rupees 3,000 under the less items in the inner column. Preliminary expenses rupees 400 and provision for doubtful debts rupees 75 are purely financial items which lead to less profit as per financial accounts and more profit as per cost accounts. Therefore, both these amounts should be added to financial account profit. So it is shown as preliminary expenses written off in financial accounts 400 and provision for doubtful debts rupees 75. Now all transactions have been analyzed. Let's total up the add items, which works out to 26,935, which is shown in the outer column as 26,935. So when this is added to the loss, we get the net loss reduced to 81,088 rupees. Now from this figure, the less items total is deducted, that is 5,112 rupees. So the net loss that is shown as per financial account works out to 86,200 rupees. So this is how we reconcile the losses. Let's take up another illustration wherein we prepare a reconciliation statement and also memorandum reconciliation account from the following data. Net loss as per cost accounts 3,44,800. Net loss as per financial accounts 4,32,090. Works overhead under recovered in cost accounts 6,240. Depreciation overcharged in cost accounts 2,600. Administration overhead recovered in excess 3,400. Interest on investments 17,500. Goodwill written off in financial books 11,400. Income tax paid 80,600 rupees. Stores adjustment credited in financial books, that is 950, and depreciation of stock charged in financial books 13,500. So this is a problem where we will be not only preparing the reconciliation statement, but we shall also prepare the memorandum reconciliation account to see how these transactions are recorded in the account to reconcile the losses. Let's prepare a statement of reconciliation where loss incurred as per both the books is given to us over here. So we can begin with either of the losses as the base. So here we will begin with loss as per cost account. So let's prepare a statement showing loss as per financial accounts. So let's put up the statement with the particulars in the amount column and an inner column, and as the base figure as loss as per cost accounts 3,44,800 with a minus sign to indicate that it's a loss figure. Now let's analyze the transactions which lead to differences. Works overhead under recovered in cost account 6,240. In this case, because of under recovery, the profit as per cost accounts will be more and financial accounts will be less. Therefore, the amount should be deducted. It will be shown under the less items as works overhead under recovered in cost accounts 6,240 rupees. The second transaction is depreciation overcharged in cost accounts. In this case, because of overcharge, the cost account profit will be less and as per financial accounts it will be more. Therefore, the amount should be added to the cost account figures. So, it will be shown as depreciation overcharged in cost accounts 2,600 in the inner column under the add items. Now, administration overhead over recovered by rupees 3,400. Therefore, the profit as per cost accounts will be less and as per financial accounts will be more. Thus, amount should be added to the cost account figures. So, it will be shown as over recovery of administrative overheads 3,400 in the inner column. The next is interest on investments, that is 17,500. Here, due to the interest credited in financial account, profit as per cost accounts will be less and as per financial accounts will be more. Therefore, the amount should be added. It will be shown under the add items as interest on investments 17,500 rupees. Now, the goodwill written off in financial books is 11,400. This transaction will increase the profit as per cost accounts and decrease the profit as per financial account. Therefore, the amount should be deducted. So it will be shown under the less items as goodwill written off 11,400. Now there's an income tax paid to the extent of 80,600. Here income tax is purely a financial item. This leads to increase in profit as per cost accounts and decrease in profits as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount is deducted. So it is shown under the less items as income tax paid 80,600 rupees. Now stores adjustment credited in financial accounts is 950 rupees. This transaction leads to less profit as per cost accounts and more profit as per financial accounts. Therefore, the amount should be added, which is shown as stores adjustment made only in financial accounts 950 rupees under the add items. And lastly, the depreciation of stock charged to financial account is 13,500. This leads to more profit as per cost account and less profit as per financial account. Therefore, this amount should be deducted and it is shown as depreciation of stock charged in financial account 13,500. Now, when all the transactions have been analyzed, we total up the add items, that is 24,450, and show it up in the outer column. Now, this figure is added to the loss figure and the net effect is 3,20,350 rupees. Now to this, the less item total of 1,11,740 rupees is deducted. Now this gives an increase in the loss which works out to 4,32,090 rupees, which is loss as per financial accounts. So this is how the reconciliation of losses is shown in this particular statement. Let's show this reconciliation through a memorandum reconciliation account. Let's rule out the account with the particulars and amount column on the either side. Now the loss as per cost accounts is shown on the debit side as net loss, that is 3,44,800. Now all the add items are shown on the credit side of the memorandum reconciliation account and all the less items are shown on the debit side of the reconciliation account. So let's look into those entries over here. So works overhead under recovered is debited to this account, that is 6,240. The depreciation overcharged in cost accounts is credited as 2,600. The over-recovery of administrative overheads of 3,400 is credited to the memorandum reconciliation account. Interest on investment is also shown as a credit as it's an add item 17,500. Goodwill written off is debited to this account, that is 11,400. Income tax paid is shown on the debit side as 80,600 rupees. Stores adjustment in financial accounts is a add item shown on the credit side 950 rupees. Depreciation of stock charged in financial account is shown as a debit item in this reconciliation account and shown on the debit side as 13,500 rupees. Now the total of the debit side 4,56,540 is put up also on the credit side and the balance is arrived, and that is the net loss as per financial accounts, that is 4,32,090. Now in preparation of this memorandum reconciliation account, students should note that the profit or loss shown as the opening balance on either side, credit or debit side respectively, from one book of accounts, as the case may be. All the add items or the amounts are credited to the account and all the less items or amounts are debited to the account, and the balance is either profit or loss as per the other book of account. So this is how the memorandum reconciliation account is also prepared in some cases where the statement may not be prepared. But this memorandum reconciliation account is just a working note and does not form a part of the double entry system. Now the expected outcome of this study is that the learner should be able to apply the technique to preparation of the profit reconciliation statement. The learner should understand the causes for difference in profits and should be able to give proper treatment while preparing the reconciliation statement. Students should note that they should practice preparation of different reconciliation statement to perfect themselves with the skill. Thank you, and I hope you had a nice learning experience and a better understanding of reconciliation of profit or losses.